Your English podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Your English podcast, the best way to improve your English. Now, we appreciate a good language lesson, absolutely, but that's not our mission today. We're going to take their really structured way of looking at hobbies and pull out the universal stuff, the practical wisdom for you, our listener. We're talking about how these pastimes can genuinely change things for you, whether you're learning English or just, well, looking for a bit more fulfillment.
It is pretty fascinating when you think about it. What looks like, just a practical guide for language learners turns out to be this really insightful look at well-being, personal growth, even community. The kind of insight you can actually pull from an outline like that, well, it just shows how fundamental these ideas really are. It doesn't really matter what the original point was. It just speaks to how universal these truths about, well, living a good life really are. Okay, so let's unpack this thing. What jumps out right away is how this outline treats hobbies. They're not just time fillers. No, they're framed as like strategic tools for life. The first big argument they make for even having a hobby is pretty compelling. They stress that hobbies don't just fill time, they actively push back against your routine. And crucially, they help you relax. It's not just me time. It's more like actively carving out that mental space,
Yeah.
fighting back against the daily grind, reclaiming some headspace. And they give examples to a real mix right from the start. Drawing, playing guitar, reading books, sports.
All things designed to pull you out of the everyday and into a different zone. They even make it personal. There's this anecdote about someone named Alex and how his hobby specifically helped him deal with stress from work. That probably resonates, right? For anyone feeling swamped by daily stuff, it's like a deliberate mental gear shift.
Yeah, and what's really interesting there is how quickly they broaden the scope. It's not just about relaxing for a minute. They frame hobbies as these doorways to like new horizons, ways to express yourself. It sort of lays the groundwork for self-improvement right from the beginning. So it's not just a break from life. It's presented as an enhancement of life, almost like a conscious act of self-discovery.
Right. It's not just about that quick stress relief, is it? The outline digs deeper, suggesting, longer term payoffs, building on that idea of pushing back against the grind. How do hobbies really bring like genuine joy and satisfaction, not just surface fun? Well, this material points to hobbies being pretty important for self-development and even improving concentration. Imagine that, right? Getting better focus just by doing something you actually like.
That's a powerful idea.
And they list specific hobbies that help with this. Reading, drawing, music, even gardening. These aren't just random pastimes. They're shown as clear routes to, real personal growth.
Tangible growth, yeah.
And it's not only about getting good at something. The outline really emphasizes how creative stuff like art or music, they're not just hobbies, they're like emotional illuminators. It's about making your inner world richer, more vibrant, just through expressing yourself. Then there's Nina's story. Her experience makes this really concrete. She talks about how her hobby became less of a nice to have and more like this essential anchor, a tool she needed to find that balance between work and, just resting her mind. It's a strong reminder that maybe hobbies aren't a luxury. Maybe they're actually necessary for like overall well-being.
Absolutely. And if you connect those dots, you really see the practical side of hobbies that maybe we don't always think about. Okay, sure, they're relaxing emotionally, but they're also paths to real creative growth. They boost your quality of life by giving you that outlet for stress, and maybe most importantly, they often help us stumble upon these hidden talents we never knew we had. It's like digging into yourself and finding new capabilities. It kind of redefines what you thought you could do.
Okay. So we've got the why. That seems clear. But for a lot of people, myself included sometimes, the real sticking point is the how. How do you actually find that thing, that new interest? And this is where the outline gets really interesting, I think. It gives some maybe slightly counterintuitive advice. It basically says, get out of your comfort zone.
Mm.
Go experiment. Try stuff. Could be sports, could be cooking classes, the whole range. It's about uh, actively seeking, not just waiting for inspiration.
Right, throwing things at the wall, but with intention.
Exactly. And they give concrete ideas too. Drawing workshops, culinary courses, music lessons. But the key advice seems to be start small. Like try a short group class or just a single trial lesson. Dip your toe in without this huge commitment. It lowers that barrier to entry, right? Which I think stops a lot of us from trying new things.
Definitely.
And Alex pops up again here. He talks about trying something totally new and just finding this unexpected passion. The advice is pretty clear. Try a few things at once, maybe. And this is important. Don't be scared of messing up. It's part of figuring it out.
Making mistakes is learning, yeah.
Maybe, like you listening, Alex found that first step kind of daunting, but the payoff was huge.
So this brings up a really practical question, though. Once you find something, how on earth do you fit it into a life that's already, jam-packed? And the outline has some solid practical tips here for time management. It talks about prioritizing your hobby, setting aside specific times that are like non-negotiables. Reading before bed is one example they give. Or even clever ways to combine things like listening to audiobooks while you commute.
Smart scheduling.
Exactly. It's about integrating it consciously, not just hoping extra hours appear. And Nina's experience managing her work and free time really highlights this. She made it work, and the outline adds another layer. Set achievable goals, like maybe learn one new drawing technique each week. That kind of structure keeps you motivated, makes progress feel less overwhelming, turns it into small, doable steps.
Right. And then there's the next step, isn't there? Moving from just having a hobby to it becoming a real passion.
Hmm.
The outline tackles this too. It explains that the shift isn't about some grand gesture. It's about consistency. Regular conscious time spent on it, even short sessions every day. It's not about finding huge chunks of time, but that steady, focused effort that builds momentum over time.
Consistency is key.
Yeah. And Alex's story comes up again, how his guitar playing turned into this deep passion after months of just putting in the practice. And interestingly, they advise investing in decent tools or education, like signaling to yourself that this matters, it's worth putting resources into. It's not just a whim.
That makes sense. It signifies commitment. And if we step back and look at the bigger picture here, it's fascinating how this personal passion then starts to connect you outwards to community. The outline points out these really significant social benefits that just seem to emerge naturally. You make new connections, your social circle expands, you might even end up doing joint projects. Alex finding friends through his hobbies is a perfect example of that. Your personal joy kind of spills over and becomes shared.
Totally. And they get specific about joining clubs and groups. Why is that so good? Well, because you learn from others, right? You exchange ideas, experiences, and you get that sense of community belonging. They list examples like drawing clubs, music groups, cooking workshops, even things like chess tournaments. Lots of
Yeah,
possibilities.
shared spaces.
And Nina's experience, again, joining a group really boosted her skills, she said, but it also brought new friends into her life. Reinforces that idea of shared interest leading to growth and connection.
It's powerful stuff.
Now, here's something I found particularly fascinating. The outline talks about how hobbies can actually bridge gaps, specifically between generations. They give these great examples like gardening together or playing board games or doing crafts that can involve kids, parents, grandparents. everyone.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. It emphasizes how these shared activities create this space where everyone feels included, feels valued. It broadens perspectives, creates these unique moments for real connection across age groups. It's not just killing time together, it's actually building bridges.
That's a really nice insight.
And Alex mentions this too, how his hobby connected him with people both older and younger than him. Shows that passion doesn't really care about age, does it?
Not at all. And shifting gears slightly, but still related, the outline then looks at the internet's role, which is huge now, obviously. Online communities, digital communication, they're shown as these really powerful tools for hobby development. Think online forums, social media groups, virtual clubs. They break down geographical barriers.
Right, location doesn't matter as much.
Exactly. And Nina's experience, again, she found new friends and got way better at her skills through online groups. It just highlights the internet's power to connect people way beyond their local town or city. It's amazing how these modern tools can amplify those very old, very human needs for connection and growth.
So, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, which started, remember, as an outline for an English learning podcast about hobbies, what have we really learned? Well, we've seen that hobbies are way more than just killing time. They seem pretty critical for personal development, essential for relaxing, great for uncovering hidden talents, and they're incredible forces for bringing people together across all kinds of lines, including generations.
Definitely. A lot packed into a simple concept.
And Alex's final piece of advice in the source material is simple, but I think really important. Just be open to new things. Don't be afraid to make mistakes while you're searching. It's like giving yourself permission to explore.
Yeah, that fear of failure can be paralyzing.
For sure. And Nina echoes that, saying basically, get inspired by other people, learn from them, and then share your own successes too. Pay it forward, maybe.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. Consider not just what specific hobby you might want to try, but think about how that structured, joyful approach, the kind of meticulous way it was laid out in our source material, how that process could be applied to other parts of your life. It's about bringing that same intention, that dedication to foster growth, connection, and maybe just a deeper sense of fulfillment, whatever it is you choose to focus on.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the unexpected wisdom of hobbies. We really hope it sparked something new for you.